Hello, hello, hello. I am Hope Brown, the tax-minded bookkeeper, and today I want to show you guys in QuickBooks how to run both a account receivable summary report and an account receivable detail report. All right. So what are the benefits of using these reports? And I'm glad you asked that. Think about it this way, especially as we're getting closer to the end of the year, it's always good to have an eye on who owes you money. All right. Sometimes as business owners, like face it, I know for myself, I am so busy running my business that the money part, is crazy as that sounds, a lot of my invoices I have set up on automatic billing and those type of things. So I have to make sure that I'm going in and running reports to not only make sure that those are being paid, that there are also no other kind of, just payment glitches happening. The account receivable report in QuickBooks, whether it's the detail or summary, are great tools to be able to see a window into the money or cash flow coming into my business and who's outstanding with paying me money that they owe. So we are in QuickBooks Online now. We're in the test company that Intuit provides called Craig's Design and Landscaping Services. So it is a sample company. You can even pull it up yourself and play and experiment with these things. But this is not live data. And let's get started with going first to the report feature, which is right here. And I'm just going into the reports. All right, so if you have not gone into the reports before for QuickBooks Online, I just like you to see just a list of what's here. Now, your list may look slightly different depending on what version of QuickBooks Online you're running. So we can go down here and you see the section that says who owes you. All right, this is the magic area that we want to look at the reports here. And you can see here right at the top is our reports called Accounts Receivable Aging Detail, and then also Accounts Receivable Aging Summary. Okay, two really valuable reports. I'm going to go first into the Accounts Receivable Aging Summary report, and voila, here I am. So first thing I want to show you is, if you can look here, you can see that we are running this as of today, but it's always going to have different date options that you can choose. You can choose a custom date, you can go back in time, but we're going to do today's date, which is 9/27/23. And then something else that I want to show, that aging method here, we have the report date. We could also just default it to current, all right, but I'm just going to leave it report date, and that 9/27/23 kicks in. We have the days in the aging period. I accepted the default, which is 30 days, and you can see here in the actual data, these fields are always broke down by the number of days, which is 30 in the case of what we're doing here, okay? And then I'm showing the number of periods, which is 4. And you can see we have between 1 to 30 days, between 31 to 60 days, between 61 to 90 days, and then over 91 days. So in reading this report, you can see we have a list of all of our vendors. The one in the current column is showing invoices for these vendors, which basically is not late. We're still within the acceptable time frame of when the terms are of when they're supposed to be paid. But if you go one column over, you can see that these are between 1 to 30 days past the actual due date that invoice was supposed to be paid. This is between 31 days to 60 days. Now, when you start getting into this level, this is when you want to reach out and be a little bit more aggressive, if not before, to make sure that these bills are being paid. Especially if you're on some kind of revolving, like every month, just think about it. Now we're going into 2 months and so on. Definitely by the time you get out to 61 days, like you might want to have to call in the professionals for that. We can see here, for example, if I wanted to see as of, let's say, October the 15th, this report is good because I can get a window in time and see like, okay, at that point, if these weren't paid, you can see that some of those invoices that were current are now moved over to the 1 to 30 days and so on and so on. So that's a little bit about how that works. And again, it's just really good to give an overview and tracking of where the process is on the account receivable as far as those invoices being paid. So let's go back and I want to show you the summary report. All right, we're going to go back to that same section, who owes you. All right, and this time I'm going to see, not the summary, but the detail report. So I'm going there. Now, wow, you can see this has a little bit more information. So we still can see a breakdown of the days that things are past, like 1 to 30 days, 31 to 60 days. But this is actually showing me more vendor. I'm seeing the invoice number. I'm seeing the actual due date of when it was supposed to be and some other things. So you can see that this is showing me more detail about the same information broken down into that time frame. I'm still seeing the 30 days here. I'm seeing the number of periods is 4. But you can see here now, for example, I'm getting the date, I'm getting the transaction type, the invoice number, the customer, the actual due date it was supposed to be coming in, and the amount. So this is great information. And I can also go and actually click on the invoice from this version of the report, which is more detailed, and it opens up the invoice so I can see what's happening here. So what if I'm seeing that, okay, listen, these people owe me money. It was due back in July. What am I going to do about it? Let me send them a reminder. And that's super easy to do too. If you just want to go back to sales, and I'm going to go to invoice. All right. And here we have just a list of invoices, but I can go into any of these to edit them and do more detail. But what I wanted to show you is I can just go right over here and I can actually do send reminder right from QuickBooks. It makes it nice and easy. I can edit this to say whatever I need to say, but when I send that, the vendor will get a new copy of the invoice just as a reminder to pay. All right. So those were the main highlights I wanted to show of the account receivable reports, as far as the detailed report, the summary report, just so you can know they exist and a little bit about how you can use them. And then also, if you do have late invoices, how to go in and send a reminder to the vendor to pay you. All right. So this is Hope Brown, the Tax Minded Bookkeeper, signing off, and I will see you in the next video.